Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today for the Lytham Partners Fall 2022 Investor Conference. My name is Joe Dorame, Managing Partner of Lytham Partners. I would like to welcome Scientific Industries, ticker symbol SCND on the OTC. Presenting from the company are John Moore, Chairman, and Helena Santos, Chief Executive Officer. As a reminder, management will be available for one-on-one virtual meetings. If you'd like to sign up, please visit lythampartners.com/virtual and click the one-on-one meeting request button. Now I'd like to turn the presentation over to John Moore, Chairman of Scientific Industries. John?
Thank you, Joe. Welcome everyone to our presentation today. Here's our disclaimer statement, safe harbor statement. I'd like to tell you a little bit about Scientific Industries. We have three main product lines. We have the Genie Vortex product line that represents the majority of our sales. That the company started this product in 1954, and it's a cash generator for the company. We also have the Torbal scale business that Helena acquired in 2014. And the business we're going to be speaking most about today is Scientific Bioprocessing, a business that Helena acquired in 2011 and licensed some very interesting technology, which has led to the growth path for the company today. So if you look at the different markets that we address, the Vortex mixer market is about a $40 million annual global market. We have 30 distributors. We sell around the world. It's about 50% US, 50% rest of world, and our distributors are some of the largest and most successful biotech and bioprocessing distributor companies in the world. But since we developed the product and we created the market in 1954, we have about 20 competitors, and our sales in this area are, we're the largest competitor in this space and also the highest price competitor in this space. Helena acquired Torbal, which is a North American, which is a pharmaceutical scale company. We have most pharmaceutical pharmacies in the United States have our scales. And when Helena bought the business in 2014, she elevated a guy named Karl Nowosielski to be the CEO of that business, and he launched a automated pill counter product, which we believe today has about a $360 million total addressable market. It's in the US. The company's got a tremendous distribution network in the US and in Canada, and it's an area of rapid growth for the company. And then the largest opportunity for the business is what's called the bioprocessing business. And bioprocessing means using technology to manufacture products, whether it's synthetic biology products like detergents and enzymes for industrial purposes, or seeds that don't require fertilizers or very much in the way of fertilizers, or healthcare products like, actually today, 10 out of all the 10 top best-selling drugs produced sold in the United States are made via, they're called large molecules, or they're made via biomanufacturing. So this represents over $1 billion opportunity for the company, and it's where we're investing the majority of the company's capital today. So on the next slide, in 2011, Helena acquired a company called Fluorometrics that had in-licensed technology from University of Maryland, Baltimore County. And this technology was these very small optical sensors, about the size of a hole punch. And they were a critical enabling technology for a company called Sartorius. So Helena acquired the business for about $250,000 and 100,000 shares of Scientific Industry stock, which at the time was trading for around $1.50 a share. And we collected over $4.5 million of net royalties for that technology. So it was a tremendous investment. But what it really gave us was a ringside seat at the development of this incredibly important product that Sartorius developed. And Sartorius is a company which today sells for about 20 times revenue. And Sartorius sold over $1 billion of these AMBER systems. It's a high throughput screening system for research and process development in the bioprocessing field. And the license is now expired. And basically, the story we're going to be telling you is about how we acquired a company in Germany called Aquila Biolabs. We rebranded it Scientific Bioprocessing. And the whole vision behind that acquisition was to create this product called DOTS, which, even though it's less automated than the Sartorius system, it can be sold to what we believe is a much larger piece of the market, and we can sell it at 10% of the capital expenditure cost and 10% of the operating costs. And we think that this is going to be a very attractive product for the academic market, academic synthetic biology market, startups in the synthetic biology field, and the more price-sensitive synthetic biology market. And, as you think, so on the left, you see a picture of what is the Sartorius Amber 250. That product sells for $750,000, and it has $75,000 annual operating costs associated with it, where our DOT system is going to be selling for about 10% of that cost. Now, why does this matter? A lot of us have heard the Biden administration just announced their biomanufacturing initiative at the White House. They actually mentioned one of our projects in the announcement of that summit for biomanufacturing. And this is the platform that they believe that synthetic biology, which is the use of microbes to produce higher value industrial products, is going to be a $20 trillion market in the next 10 to 15 years. And our technologies are going to be we're sort of selling the picks and shovels to the pioneers of this exciting new field, where it's also going to be benefiting from a lot of government spending in the coming years. So why does automation matter in the field? And what's the current state? Well, the current state is that if you were manufacturing products in a cell culture facility, you would take your samples down the hallway to the data analytics and quality control area, and you would find out after 2 hours what was happening with your manufacturing, whether it was in the design space or out of the design space. And in healthcare products like biologic drugs, that can mean, if your production has gone out of the design space within that 2-hour period, it means a loss of millions of dollars of product. So this means a lot of sleepless nights for the people running these processes, and it's extremely disjointed. So what are we looking for? We're looking for creating a inexpensive way for the smallest vessels to be able to be instrumented, to be able to know in real time what's happening with the processes. And as a result, whether it's because you're using machine learning and artificial intelligence algorithms that dramatically lower cost of goods due to higher yields in manufacturing, faster time to developing new products, and improve quality control systems. So that's the future vision that we believe that we're going to be creating, and why this is going to be an important company for investors and for our customers. So when we bought Aquila Biolabs, what we got was products that they had been manufacturing and selling to customers for at the time it was 6 years. Now it's 8 years. So we're able to measure things like biomass and shake flasks. They also created an automated feeding system. And why does all that matter? It matters because we're essentially creating, if the Amber system that I just described from Sartorius was like a mainframe computer, what we're doing is we're creating the personal computer for the synthetic biology field. So we're the only people in the world that make a liquid injection system. We've got 15 years of patent life on that product. And we think that this product is going to be as important to the synthetic biology field as the PC was to the home computing market. So we have over 290 customers in over 25 countries. And we've just announced some exciting new upgrades to the technology. And every 6 months, we're going to be continuing to increase the performance of the value proposition to the customer on the platform. So in Q2 of 2021, we acquired Aquila Biolabs. In Q3, we launched a new sensor platform called DOTS, which substantially increased the usability and user friendliness of the software. And we also added a really important feature, which is the ability in a single shake flask for the first time ever to be able to do biomass growth rate activated feeding. And that's important to the industry because it means that you can do a lot of experiments in a faster amount of time with less labor. And then in Q1, we're planning on launching the DOTS shake flask, which will be that really direct competitor with the Amber system. And as much as it is a competitor to the Amber system, it's also going to increase the value to people that use the Amber system, as well as be able to allow people that can't afford, like a lot of academic labs, startup companies, and even very large synthetic biology companies that can't afford or don't have the budget for the $700,000 for a single Amber system. So one of the really important things about what we do is we think it's not only important to be very innovative, but also to have a robust sales force and plan to get to market. We have Bucky Polk, who's our VP of Global Sales. We have salespeople in Europe and in the United States. We're building that sales force. We also work with manufacturing institutes like Nimble, Army, and Biomade, and we've won substantial grants from Army and from Biomade to continue to develop our products and to develop use case and applications for it. And we also have a number of important OEM accounts that are potential customers. So I'm going to now hand the call over to Helena to discuss the financials of the company.
Thank you, John. So in terms of our financials, we have approximately 7 million shares of common stock outstanding as we speak. And that gives us a market capitalization of just under 40 million. And that's based on our latest closing stock price, which was about $5.66 a share. As of our last reporting period, which was the quarter ending March 31st, 2022, within the next week, we'll be putting out our annual report on the Form 10-K. But as of then, we had approximately 11.7 million in cash. We are debt-free, and that gave us an enterprise value of about 28 million. In terms of our revenues, we showed about just under 10 million in revenues, and obviously the majority of those revenues were derived from the legacy business, which, as John described beforehand, were primarily due to the sales of the Genie product line, particularly the Vortex mixer. But the Torbal's Vivid automated pill counter has been a growing part of that business and is expected to grow. In terms of the bioprocessing business, the majority of those revenues, which were just about 700,000, were mainly due to the royalties that we were receiving from underlying patents that we licensed to Sartorius. As John mentioned, going forward, the expectation is that we will be deriving revenues from products utilizing that technology that will, be wholly ours.
So we've got a great board of directors. The company is led by Helena Santos, and she had joined us initially 20 years ago as a controller, and she worked her way up to be the CEO of the company. We've got an amazing board of directors for a company with only a $40 million market capitalization. We have Marcus Frampton, who's the Chief Investment Officer of the Alaska Permanent Fund. They're renowned investors in the biotech sector. And Marcus manages over $88 billion for the citizens of Alaska. Chris Cox was the Chief Commercial Officer of the Medicines Company, and they sold a drug, inclisiran, to Novartis for $9.7 billion. He's now partners with Sir Clive Meanwell, the founder of the Medicines Company, and Ian Reid, the former CEO of Pfizer, and a company called Population Health Partners. And Dr. Jürgen Schumacher was an original investor in Aquila Biolabs. He invested in Scientific Industries when we acquired the company, and he was the co-founder and chairman of QIAGEN, which is an $11.5 billion biotech company based in Europe, and there actually happened to also be a customer for our Vortex Genie product. Roy Edelman is the former CEO of Spectrum Labs, and his estate is the largest shareholder of Repligen. And so we've got a great management talent inside the company, and I think I also should say that the founders of Aquila are playing an incredibly important role in the now rebranded Scientific Bioprocessing. Daniel Grunes is the CEO of Scientific Bioprocessing, and Dr. Schumacher has done a lot of investing in startups in Europe, and he says that the Aquila, now Scientific Bioprocessing team, is the best team he's ever backed. So we feel very lucky that they feel like this is their company. They're putting their time and energy into this. They own about, in stock options, about 5% of the company. And we think we've got a great growth engine for the future. So that concludes our presentation.
John and Helena, thank you very much for that overview. Since we've got a little extra time, let's expand on a bit on a few topics. On one of the slides, you talked about timeline for the roll-up. So could you provide a little more clarity on your DOTS products, software, and kind of sensors that could be rolled out?
So we just announced the launch of the DOTS software program. So we're going to be, our main focus right now is upgrading all of our existing almost 300 customers to the new DOTS platform, and it's going to add new value. Since they first created the biomass system and the liquid injection system, the systems didn't talk together. You could use either one or the other, but they didn't work together. Customers have always asked, if we could have biomass growth rate initiated feeding, that would be a game changer for us. And we think that that's going to lead to, that new software feature is going to lead to a rapidly growing demand for the products. And then second of all, in the Q1 of probably closer to the end of Q1 of 2023, calendar 2023, we're going to be launching a instrumented shake flask product, which is again going to be further, make our products bioreactor like. It's going to dramatically reduce the cost of research and development for our customers and process development. And again, we think we're going to, we have a similar size opportunity that that Sartorius has unlocked with Amber. Even though we're selling our products for 10% of the cost, we think it's 10 times larger market than what Sartorius has been able to tap with the Amber system.
Wow, that's very interesting. Last week you announced, as you mentioned, a research collaboration that will incorporate your DOTS platform. Can you talk about the importance of, partnering with the academia?
Sure. There's 15 academic synthetic biology pilot plants in the United States that are extremely prestigious. They not only do they do hundreds of commercial projects for commercial companies every year, but they also train the next generation of workers and managers in the synthetic biology space. And there's a huge shortage of trained technicians and trained scientists in this field. So what we've now have 6 of those 15 centers that have adopted our products. So they're sort of like a vending machine for future customers for us. And there's a lot of work going on to sort of validate the value and use of those products. So it's we're sort of it's allowing us to break through the plateau of latent potential, which is, we do think this is a huge market, but how do you raise the awareness that this is now available for people? Because people have looked, the shake flask is the most ubiquitous reaction vessel in science. But it's always been a black box because nobody's ever been able to put a sensor on one before. And that's what's really special about what we're doing is we're not only are we putting sensors on these shake flasks at a fraction of the cost of a conventional system, but you're able to do huge amounts of experiments that weren't affordable before, whether it's because of manual labor that was required in the bigger systems, or because of a lack of the ability to be able to buy something like an Amber system. So it's gonna dramatically accelerate the amount of research that's going to be able to be done and lower the costs of synthetic biology, which means lots of great new products based on microbes instead of on petroleum.
That's great. Helena, recently you announced the release of a redesign of your Vivid pill counter, which is automatic. Can you talk about the features and the benefits of that?
Sure. Joe, we're really excited about this relaunch of our Vivid pill counter. It really puts us where we want to be as a leading player in this field. Basically, in a nutshell, this new Vivid incorporates 4 major features, some which are extremely important. The first one, which I believe to be, obviously the most significant and where we invested quite a bit of development money, was in a new pill counting engine. What that means is that it now incorporates a very robust and advanced algorithm, which makes the pill counter a lot faster and more robust. And it incorporates things that are very important to the pharmacist, like counting pill fragments, incorrect pills, detects foreign objects like a cotton swab, for example. And what it does for the pharmacy is that it really does improve the safety and, more importantly, efficiency, because, as we all know, labor shortages are something that pharmacies have to deal with, not just us here and the rest of the world. Some of the other features which are also very innovative are one is it includes a Vivid Plus subscription, and I'll go into that a little bit later on. Other things are unit of use, and why is that important? That's important because now we're able to count not only pills, but other dispensable drugs such as inhalers, liquids, creams, because, as you know, the pharmacy is not all about pills. And another important feature, one that we made a significant investment in, is it incorporates something called Medispan. And what is Medispan? Medispan is a premium drug database that incorporates descriptions and visual validation of the dispensed drugs. It allows the pharmacist to actually see a pre-verified photograph of the drug that's being counted on the Vivid. And they can also dispense generic equivalents and substitutes at the time of filling. So, these are all really great additional features to the 500 or so Vivids that we already had on the market.
That's great. So, given that, one of the features you mentioned was the Plus subscription. Can you dive a little deeper into that? That's a recurring revenue component, and just talk about what the benefits are and how it works.
So that was something that was very important to us, not only from our point of view as a company and the ability to have recurring revenue, but also we believe that this is a benefit to our customers, and one that they consider very important to the Vivid. Basically, the Vivid Plus is a 1-year subscription. So when you first buy your Vivid, you will have that for free for a year, but thereafter you will be asked to subscribe for a nominal price of just under $300. And what that gives you, okay, is really access to a cloud-based account. And that cloud-based account allows you to do many things that your Vivid on its own would not be able to do. You can now have access to a dashboard for reporting. You can monitor and manage your pharmacy pill counting activity. You can get automatic reporting via email. You can get miscount alerts via email. You can track transaction and user activity of all the Vivids connected to that particular account. You can do inventory reporting. You can, excuse me, set user management roles and privileges. Another one that's important is you can have access to FDA NDC directory. And then we throw in a few other perks, such as a free tray replacement, which, through our end user feedback, we found that to be a good perk to add in. We also include preferred technical support for the customer and an extended warranty. Obviously, it also includes the regular updates and any new features that come out on the Vivid.
That's good. Thank you very much for that. So, how are you guys managing the inflationary pressures right now? Do you have the ability to raise prices on your products and services?
So, Joe, we are no different than the rest of the world, whereby we do have to deal with, with such pressures. We sort of have to segment our businesses. In the bioprocessing business, we are just starting out now, so our pricing is already taking into consideration, such pressures, and we are able to enjoy much higher gross margins in that business than we are in the legacy business. And obviously, this is one of the reasons we're also investing heavily in the bioprocessing business, is because that's one of the factors. In the legacy business, which, as you know, is where we are generating the majority of our current revenues, when it comes to the pharmacy pill counters, when we priced those products, we had already taken into consideration, what was about to come, and we invested heavily in the beginning in components, and were able to take advantage of that pricing. What we also do is we do a lot of purchasing on an annual basis, and then just do releases so that we can have more control over our costs of the underlying components. With the Genie product line, usually we are able to, and we do, pass on some of the increases in terms of annual pricing increases in that industry. It's usually for a calendar year. While we're not able to fully pass on all of the increases, we do other things to try and minimize the pressures that we are incurring from inflation. So I think we're able to deal with it.
Very good. Close things out here. John, looking forward, what are the key milestones that investors should be looking for in 2023?
Well, go ahead, Helena.
Basically, in John, please, I welcome you then to speak after me. But from my own point of view, I have certain key milestones that I'm looking forward to. With the first being definitely market penetration of our DOTS products in our bioprocessing business. I think that's, a milestone number one in where the company is really focusing on. As John mentioned, launch of additional DOTS products, such as the DOTS shake flask and also the DOTS reader. In the benchtop lab equipment, we are looking forward to also launching new Vivid products and also a Genie line of product. And lastly, one of the things that we're also looking to do, and one of I would consider a key milestone for us, would be the preparation of our eventual uplisting to NASDAQ. But I'll let John also, tell us what his key milestones are from his perspective.
That was a great summary, Helena. And I might also say that you're also working on the Vivid Light, right, which is, I think, going to be really important for opening up chain stores for us. And I think from really the big push that we have is not only to continue to bring out new products at Scientific Bioprocessing, but also to expand the number of our customers. We've got almost 300 out of a target group of 3,000 customers, and then to expand our sales from, generally a customer will buy our products, they'll do a $25,000 or $50,000 order. But what we're really looking for is expanding across that customer's platform so that they're using our devices as a standard quality control or research device in all their different departments. That can mean a customer could be $1.5 million customer, it could be a $15 million customer. So it's really, for us, it's about the lifetime value of those customers and expanding beyond just one single installation of our product. And then, of course, we've got now with the launch of the DOT software, we've got 3 platforms for recurring revenue. One is the optical sensors, like the flow cells that we just introduced. Number 2 is the software for upgrades as we create new software upgrades for the existing and new modules on the existing DOTS software. And then the third application is our liquid injection system has a single-use vessel on it. And so, where people have used the liquid injection system in the past, and we've got installations as large as 48 liquid injection systems with one customer, they're going to start using them a lot more aggressively now that the liquid injection system can be triggered by the biomass system. And we think that's going to increase the number of disposable sales for those products.
Great. Well, John and Helena, thank you very much for your time today. We appreciate it. Again, if you'd like to sign up for one-on-one meetings, please visit lythampartners.com/virtual and click the one-on-one meeting request button. We wish you all a good day. Enjoy the conference.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.